What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Soul Break. Thanks for stopping by my channel. So today I have a very special pickup and a very special pair of sneakers to review here. And as you can see, these are the Adidas Yeezy Boost 700 V2 in the static colorway. Now, I've been wanting this pair for quite some time. I know that these released back in 2018. I wasn't really into sneakers just yet. I think I started to take interest in sneakers towards the end of 2018, but when I found out about these, the resale price was already kind of like crazy, and then they kind of skyrocketed around like 2019 and 2020. So I kind of gave up on picking up a pair, but for some reason Adidas decided to restock these along with a lot of other classic 350 V2 colorways. So it's a really blessing that Adidas decided to bring these back. Unfortunately, I was not able to cop a pair for retail because Adidas Korea decided to implement a very weird first come first serve system where you have to wait in the waiting room, and then you would randomly get selected, and then once you get randomly selected, you would have the chance to purchase a pair. But the problem is that even if your payment goes through, for some odd reason your order might get canceled because there's not enough stock numbers or whatever. So it's just kind of a BS system, but people are trying to get used to it more and more. I was able to pick up a couple pairs through that system, which I'll get into a little bit later. But without further ado, let's dive right into this sneaker. So I got this pair off of a resale platform in South Korea. I did have to pay resale, but the good thing is that I did get rid of some pairs of sneakers to kind of get that resale money. I don't really look down on resellers unless they like really hog pairs and pairs and pairs and pairs unnecessarily. But if you're in the sneaker game, and if you're in the sneaker game up until this point, we really got to get used to the fact that you got to do what you got to do. So if you have the chance to get some trade bait or some extra pairs that you can actually get some extra cash off of, I think it's a nice idea to kind of put that cash towards picking up a Grail sneaker or something like that. So that's just basically what I did. But anyways, let's start with the upper of the shoe. So the upper is this kind of like a dark gray colored mesh material here on the side, and on top of that you got the Adidas stripes in this sort of like horizontal shape, using all this 3M reflective material. And I think that's always a very cool detail on Adidas 700 V2 models. And I think I've mentioned this in a couple of other videos. It's just that the Adidas 700 V2s tend to have some really nice materials on them, and it's this pair really does not disappoint me at all as well. So, and on top of the mesh material, you got this kind of like I would say this gray or sort of I guess static colored leather overlay. I think it is leather, or it might actually it might be nubuck. Now that I kind of like run my finger across it, I think it is actually nubuck. Very fine nubuck. You can barely feel the texture on it. And then right underneath you got another overlay in that sort of like cream colored material, and this for sure is leather. And then you got it lining the bottom part of the sneaker right here. And towards the front, you see more of that sort of gray type of mesh material here on the toe box area. And then you also have another piece of that 3M reflective material to add a little bit more detail. And then on top of that, for the toe cap, you've got more of that gray nubuck or suede material here on the front of the shoe. And then towards the center of the shoe, you've got a nice lace holder created using that 3M reflective material here as well. And then you got the rounded factory laces on the shoe, and then this does have some 3M reflective details scattered across the laces. So I think that's a really cool touch to the sneaker, since it's the static colorway, so I think it really makes sense to kind of add that sort of vibe of, you know, electricity, like static electricity, if you know what I mean. So I think the 3M reflective detail goes really well with the overall concept or colorway of the shoe. And underneath the laces, you got that gray colored mesh tongue. And then on the tip of the tongue, you don't have any branding, which I think it's a really clean look to this sneaker. And because you got a lot of things going on, and it would just, you know, just add on to that sort of chaos by adding a tongue tab. And I think it's a really cool and really clean way to kind of, you know, just omit the branding on the tongue. And then for the inside of the shoe, you got this nice gray mesh material for the sock liner. And then you've got a Ortholite insole all done in gray with the Ortholite and Yeezy and Adidas branding all printed in white against that gray outsole. And then towards the back side of the sneaker, you see more of that kind of, you know, cream colored leather overlay here, extending all the way towards the heel area. And the collar is once again that gray colored mesh material. And then you see more of that sort of gray suede or nubuck material sewn on to the mesh part right there. And then again, you see more of that sort of 3M reflective detail on the heel counter area. Once again, you don't have any branding there. So it's a really subtle way of Adidas kind of, you know, adding their brand identity with the three stripes here using the 3M reflective material. Now, again, the midsole is where things get crazy, and I guess this is sort of some sort of like EVA foam material, all done in that cream color with the typical details that we see on 700 V2 models. Since it doesn't have any, you know, outstanding colors, I think it's a very nice way to kind of like kind of mute the really chaotic design, chaotic in a pretty good way. I think, you know, these very grooves are really interesting, and it kind of adds a lot to the livelihood of the sneaker itself. But omitting any sort of like bright like orange colors or whatever, I think it just manages to keep a really clean and crisp look of the overall sneaker. And, you know, basically the medial side is a very similar deal. And then the outsole is, I think the outsole of the 700 V2s are really beautiful. You got all these herringbone traction pads all done in that black color. And then in between those traction patterns, you got these nice grooves all done in that cream colored material. And then inside of that, you can see the sort of the encapsulated Easy Boost foam, which is really nicely cushioned and very smooth to the touch. And that Boost foam is going to provide you with a lot of comfort when you wear these. And then here on the back side, you got a subtle Adidas branding that you will not be able to see when you're wearing these. So, you know, again, it's a really clean touch to the overall sneaker. And wearability wise, I mean, these are just, you know, they might not be everyone's cup of tea, but they tend to be one of those really nice summer shoes where you're going to get a lot of breathability, and these go exceptionally well with shorts. They also go well with sort of like, you know, gray sweatpants, or for that matter, you could perhaps rock these with some Adidas sweatpants to match the look. So wearability wise, it really shouldn't be a problem. I'm so excited to wear these with shorts in the warmer weather. So I really look forward to that. And sizing wise, you know, I as soon as I pulled these out of the box, there was, you know, no way I was gonna wait to do the review. So what I did was I just took the tags off and then did a short walk around the block. And it seems as though true to size is just fine. It's just that if you have really narrow feet, you might want to consider going actually half a size down, because, you know, if you enjoy wearing that kind of snug fit, going half a size down should probably be the best way for you. But I wouldn't really recommend going a half size up, because I think this sneaker is pretty roomy compared to, say, like the 350 V2s or whatnot. So that's just my sizing advice. Now, resale premium wise, I believe there is some, hefty premium on these, but to begin with, these are pretty expensive retail. So, and I did pay around, say, like $500 US if I do the currency exchange. But I'm pretty happy with that price because, again, the resale price point for these is pretty high anyways. And then what's interesting is that it's still cheaper than the price that I was considering picking these up a couple of years ago. So I'm really happy with how the transaction turned out for me, and especially because I was able to flip a couple sneakers and then get that extra cash. So basically I got these for free. So it's a really big plus for me. But anyways, I'm really excited to have this finally in my collection. And I just can't wait to wear these again tomorrow morning. So it's just a blessing for me. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. And if you enjoyed watching this video, please hit that subscribe button. I actually have the Oreos that I picked up for retail that I'm going to review really soon. So stay tuned for that, and thanks for watching.